Imagine standing on a windswept African savanna 40,000 years ago. Around you, tufts of grass rustle and distant chimpanzees chatter in the trees. Yet here you are, Homo sapiens, starting to carve sculptures, setting fires, and speaking languages richer than any ape's call. How did a mere 2% genetic difference turn us from another twig on the chimpanzee family tree into rulers of the planet? That small gap unlocked a world both dazzling and dangerous, and Jared Diamond's story is just beginning. 2% DNA difference sounds tiny, but it's enough to rewrite the entire playbook of life. What's packed into those few letters of our genetic code? Jared Diamond lays out the genetics. Humans share about 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees, yet that 2% shapes everything from our upright stance to our ability to use complex language. It's like discovering a nearly identical recipe that suddenly swaps sugar for spice, creating an entirely new flavor. Diamond points to key examples, genes responsible for brain growth and vocal control, that set us apart in evolutionary terms. Think of your brain as a city. Chimps have a bustling town, but humans build sprawling metropolises with subway lines, power grids, and skyscrapers. Our neural connections aren't just more numerous, they're rewired for abstraction, pattern recognition, and imagination. This difference is the software upgrade enabling us to dream, plan, and invent tools that chimpanzees cannot even conceptualize. Here's the kicker: culture acts like an amplifier on that hardwired genetic base. Once we started passing knowledge as stories, art, and rituals, something chimps cannot do with the same complexity, our progress soared. This cultural inheritance allows each generation to build on previous ideas, creating an accelerating spiral of innovation that transformed us from mere apes to architects of civilization. Language didn't just let us chat over campfires, it rewired society itself. Why is this invisible code so powerful, and how did it start? Diamond highlights fossils and ancient artifacts, like those from the Cro-Magnon people in Europe circa 30,000 years ago, showing evidence of symbolic behavior, engraved bones, painted caves that signals the dawn of language. Unlike chimpanzees' limited vocalizations, humans developed grammar, syntax, and vocabulary, allowing infinite expression. This wasn't just talking, it was inventing stories, histories, and myths that bind groups tightly. Picture your social circle as a campfire. Chimps groom each other to maintain trust, but humans talk endlessly around their fires. This chatter isn't small talk, it's social glue. By sharing gossip, plans, and jokes, humans forged alliances and hierarchies far more complex than any primate troop. Language turbocharged cooperation, making larger groups possible and more stable. Here's the revolutionary insight. Language lets humans create beliefs in things that don't physically exist. Gods, nations, money, all imagined realities, yet so powerful they govern lives. This ability to believe collectively in abstract concepts turned scattered bands into coordinated civilizations with laws, religion, and economies no other species has matched. Humans didn't just survive, they conquered. But with power came peril. What does Diamond say about this wild ride from hunter to destroyer? Archaeological digs in places like New Zealand reveal a grim pattern: rapid extinction of species within centuries of human arrival, such as the giant moa birds wiped out by Polynesian settlers. Unlike chimps who live lightly, humans have reshaped ecosystems at a terrifying scale. Diamond calls this a hallmark of our species, dominance at great ecological cost. The dawn of farming was revolutionary. Instead of tracking prey, humans began cultivating crops in the Fertile Crescent around 11,000 years ago. Yet Diamond exposes the catch: agriculture increased population, but also disease, social inequality, and environmental degradation. What looked like progress also locked us into new vulnerabilities and conflicts. Fast forward, technology multiplies our impact. Nuclear weapons, climate change, AI tools born from human intellect could save or doom us. Diamond warns that our evolutionary success is fragile. Our unique intelligence requires responsibility. We're the only species aware of this tightrope, raising the question, will we be caretakers or executioners of Earth? Back on that African savanna, you realize the 2% difference wasn't just DNA, it was destiny. From gene to language to technology, we're wired to create and destroy. So next time you speak or build, remember how those tiny twists in our code unleash civilization, and ask yourself, how will you wield this gift? Try this. Tonight, share a story that connects you to someone new. It's the simplest way to tap into what makes us uniquely human. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.